the other side of this traumatic experience isn't healing, but freedom. How many of you would say I've been spiritually abused? That's the thing. Okay. We'll give some definitions of spiritual abuse tonight as well. I'll tell you a little of my story, which is why this is I'm praying as y'all listening. Just because I grew up in this church my whole life, and so it's a very sensitive subject to talk about being spiritually abused in a place where you're spiritually abused. So I grew up here my entire life. We had pastors in and out when we were kids. When I was a teenager, we had, a lot of us know the church history, we had a pastor who came in. He was extremely spiritually abusive. And he was a dictator in the house, and it led to the church falling apart. That's why we closed down or whatever. So as a kid, I watched spiritual abuse happen to those who were older than me. I watched as the pastor kicked all of us out of choir rehearsal because he couldn't have it his way. I watched him abuse a lot of the women, him threatening to beat up my aunt and have his sisters come down and beat up my aunt and other family members. So I watched that spiritual abuse happen. I watched them sort of fight back, but also he's the pastor, and so you don't want to speak against that. So watching that as a kid kind of etched in my mind what a leader is, what a pastor is. He has this authority, this God-given authority, right? He is the authority in the house of God, right? So that was the picture